Now what I'm talking about here, okay, is like life itself. Okay, and your own eating habits will formulate your own attitude towards life itself. Now, I believe, and my people, we have developed a philosophy. We are strict carnivores. We will not consume any vegetable matter. And we advocate a diet, okay, of lean red meat and black coffee. And that's it. Okay? Now I can tell you from my own experience how my consciousness was raised on this issue. Okay? I was in a health foods restaurant. It was before my consciousness was raised. I would eat vegetables like anyone else. Okay? I was sitting in this restaurant, and I remember sitting there, and there were like macrame plant hangers there. And there was like this old Neil Young record was playing on the sound system, and I could look through and see the kitchen. Okay, and there were like two girls in there, and they didn't mean anything by it, but I saw what they had done. Now, you have to realize, man, I was just through reading The Secret Life of Plants, okay? So I was really like tuned in to like plant energy, okay? I realized they're like very sensitive. Like if you walk by and you say like, you know, negative vibes to your geranium, it just like blows it away, you know, it just blows it away, okay? Okay? You know, like your shrubbery around your house, man, it's going to suffer, okay? Okay, so I realized this, and I looked out in the kitchen, I couldn't believe it, man. This girl, and she didn't mean it, I know, but she had these carrots, man, and I realized they had been like ripped out of the ground, you know. And she put them on the counter, and then she didn't even knock them out. She just took this knife, and she began slashing at them. Oh, it was like incredible. It just like blew my mind, you know. Okay, so she began like slashing. Okay, and her friend, again, I mean, really, she didn't like mean anything, but she heaved them into this boiling pot of water. It blew my mind completely. And then the waitress brought my bean sprouts, you know, and I just looked, and these little sprouts, man, they had not even begun to enjoy life. They were just like, you know, and plants are like, they just love life, you know, you see them coming up through the pavement, you know. And all of a sudden, my consciousness, I realized, wow, it blew me away. I understood about life, man. Plants, like they love life, man. They're so pacifistic. They don't chase or bite or hurt anyone. They're just enjoying life, okay? And I began to leave, you know, and I walked by the salad bar. Man, it was like a train wreck, you know, I just couldn't. I tell you, man, I was like really shaken, okay? So like I was driving along, and suddenly the other half of the philosophy began to click in my mind, okay? As I drove by a field, I saw like some cows, all right? And all of a sudden, I saw those cows like the scales had fallen off my eyes, and I saw them with a new vision, and I realized something I'd never realized before. The obvious fact. They were bored stiff. I mean, they were like saying, if I have to spend like another night in the barn, it's gonna blow my mind completely, like, you know, they were like ready to go. Then I began to like piece together the other facets. I realized our nation, okay, after years of people becoming more and more oriented to vegetables, okay, like the whole nation was like becoming wimpy. Okay, and I realized we needed to get our diet straightened out, okay? We needed to resume and get back into our place of prominence and world power. You know, we were like slipping, okay? So I got together with some friends, okay? We've created a cookbook which we want to make available to you, and it's a whole life plan for living, okay? It's not just a cookbook. It's called Diet for an Aggressive Planet. In which we instruct you in just how to accomplish your goal of becoming a complete carnivore. We have testimonials unsolicited from some very famous people. Al Haig has given us a beautiful testimonial, man. You know how this revolutionized his life? People have their questions they've written in the back of the book. We have a section, you know, people will say, like, for instance, like, how do you eat when you're traveling? It's a problem, you know. People like me who's like, you know, you're going around, like, you know, telling the world about this, and it's hard, you know, because you're like, you know, you want to eat a hamburger, man, and I've had them bring me a hamburger, and there's that bun, you know? And I just think of the thousands of wheat fields that had to be cut down for that bun, and the carnage that involved. It blows me away. And even the meat, sometimes they will put like a soya bean in there, an innocent soya bean. You know? So you got to be very careful, you know, what you do and how you do that, you know. But if you follow our book, you'll see that there are some recipes there you can make using the right chemicals, additives, and food colorings, which you need. You need that. You need that. People spend thousands of dollars on embalming, which is not necessary. Okay. You eat the proper diet, you're ready when you go.